Hello there, my name is Anna Lundberg. I'm the founder of One Step Outside, author of Leaving the Corporate 9 to 5 and host of the Reimagining Success podcast. This week I want to talk about building and developing your resilience to deal with the inevitable ups and downs of working for yourself, of freelancing, of starting and growing a business. Now, resilience is perhaps one of these sort of trendy topics that people seem to be talking a lot about these days. I've been asked to run webinars with some corporations on stress and resilience, mental health, of course, very importantly, is beginning to become part of the national conversation. Resilience, from the Latin, means to bounce back, the ability to recoil in a way, to bounce back from adversity, I suppose. And it's really about being adaptable, focusing on problem solving rather than negativity. So really looking at how you can solve the issues in front of you rather than becoming completely caught up in it and not seeing a way out and so on. It's about really looking at the long term and thinking, you know what, there might be some setbacks, there will be some setbacks, and that's okay. We're in this for the long term. It's embracing a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. So really seeing every challenge as an opportunity to grow rather than a sign of failure, a sign that you're never going to be able to do this and you're terrible and you're not entrepreneurial and this is never going to succeed. So what can you do? Well, as ever, and it might seem perhaps both obvious and not obvious at all, putting aside for a moment the strategies that you need, the business model, the team to support you, the choices that you're making from a business standpoint, of course, your mindset is really important. And one of the challenges, I guess, is that working for yourself can be very lonely. So one of the easy things you can do, maybe not so easy, it can feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes, but there are so many groups out there now. So going out there, finding communities. I have my One Step Outside Facebook group. If you're active on Facebook, you're very welcome to join us over there with 800, 900, I think now or so, like-minded people working towards redefining success outside of the 9 to 5. I also have the Outsiders Business Accelerator. So if you want a paid program with ongoing support as you build and grow your business, that's an option as well. But finding a community, finding those tribes, I guess, of people who are like-minded, who understand what you're going through, who can support you, cheer you on, hold you accountable perhaps, online, offline if you prefer that as well, in person. Finding that community is so incredibly important. And another perhaps obvious, but also perhaps something we often deprioritize or neglect is, of course, our health. We need to take care of ourselves. Of course, and I say of course, but again, perhaps it's not so obvious when we rush ahead into hustling away in the business. If we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not sleeping, if we're not eating properly, if we're stressed, if we're migrainey, whatever it is, it's going to be much harder to bounce back from setbacks. And it'll be very easy to spiral into negativity. So just a few little thoughts there. Of course, it's a massive topic. If you want to explore it in more detail, then do join us, of course, over in the One Step Outside Facebook group. You can also have a listen to the full podcast episode on Thursday on reimagining success on your favourite podcast app. So on Apple, on Spotify, Stitcher, or on the website reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com. But it's so incredibly important to prioritise this, to build and develop your resilience. The reality is that it is going to be tricky. There will always be new challenges and setbacks, so I don't want to be too negative, but even once you've overcome the initial hurdles of starting the business, then you're going to be growing it, then you're going to be pivoting, you'll get new challenges, you'll come face to face with new difficulties and new problems to solve with each stage of the business. So it's important to, again, surround yourself with friends, colleagues, peers, cheerleaders, accountability partners, to find mentors and coaches who can really guide you, to help you sidestep some of those pitfalls which can be avoided, and again, to really take care of yourself, to make sure that you're in good physical, mental, emotional health so that you can actually deal with these things as best you can. So something that's very important, I hope it's something you reflect on in terms of how can you build your resilience so that you can bounce back from those inevitable setbacks and see them as just one more step on the journey, because ultimately it is going to work. It's just a question of when rather than if. So best of luck, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.